If you follow my work at the THTFHQ as well as for the YouTube channel, you may be aware that every year in December there is a special feature that encompasses the 24 days before Christmas. It is the Review Advent Calendar. In that series of videos in which I review music suggested by you, the listener or the viewer, I usually tend to prepare everything ahead of time. And how do I prepare for that? How much preparation or organization do I have to bring to that? Is something that some of you were quite curious about. And to reply to one of the commenters, I'm going to delve a bit into the organizational side of the Hand That Feeds HQ and especially of the Review Advent Calendar video series. So if this is the thing for you, this is going to be a really interesting episode. So let's kick off this episode of SEIYUU Lounge. Welcome to SEIYUU Lounge. I am your host Vanessa, and today we are going to talk about the behind the scenes of the Review Advent Calendar video series. I know it's been a long time since the videos were released, and of course some of you may not be that interested about those videos, or some of you may not even know about those videos because you are not watching or actually listening to this episode on YouTube. You are actually coming across it on Spotify. If that is your case, you can always check the Hand That Feeds HQ on YouTube. You will find a really cool channel with some content that I have been creating since 2020. And in there you will find the Review Advent Calendar video series, the best performing videos or series that I have in there. So if you are curious about my reviews impromptu, I do not prepare those reviews in advance. I find those songs to review really in the same day that I am recording, which is really fun. Those are unscripted. I'm talking and reviewing as I'm listening to the song, so I am pausing the song almost constantly. If that's not really your thing, perhaps that video series is not really your thing after all. But if you are curious about how I review music and especially how I react to music, in case you are the type of person that likes to watch reaction videos, I invite you of course to check those out. If you are already someone that visits the YouTube channel with some frequency or at least follows that feature, then this episode is going to be for you to dive a bit deeper into that feature. I created really a video feature for you all to watch, so I want you to actually stop a bit and dive into the behind the scenes of the preparation for the Review Advent Calendar video series and understand how I organize myself and the tasks that are related to that feature, because let's not forget, the content creator such as myself doesn't have a team. So I write the scripts if I have a script, I record, I edit, I produce, I am my own lighting expert and my own sound engineer. I am in charge of my wardrobe, and I have also the task of making sure that the background is featuring things that are related to my SEIYUU. Then I have to edit the sound and I have to edit the video, and I have to do it all and even prepare designs for the thumbnails and even distribute the podcast and making sure that the podcast or the videos in this case reach you and that I do not have to be in the specific day posting things, so I have to schedule ahead of time. I'm my own agency, let's say it. So that's a lot of work behind it, and I want you of course to get to know what is the work that I do behind and how me as a solo content creator, because everything at the Hand That Feeds HQ, it is me alone creating, in case you haven't noticed. So this is I believe an episode that will interest you, and I'm going to share some insights with you in video format starting from this point on. So I hope you enjoy it. It's already way past the Review Advent Calendar series, but we all know that that series of videos is quite fun. I do find those quite enjoyable, and I had to record those, edit those, review those, and post those, so I had to watch myself at least 3 times for each video. So I'm already full of myself, and that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. So I do find those videos to be really interesting, and I have a lot of fun creating those. And well, when I announced that those videos were going to kick off in December, there was a nice commenter that asked me how it is my process to create these videos and to actually prepare everything to you ahead of time. Milana161, this commenter left a really interesting comment on Growth's Hope Diamond, one of the reviews in the review Advent Calendar 2023. Milana actually added wanted productivity tips, so I'm going to give productivity tips. First off, I'm someone that is completely organized, so I have to have processes to create something. Of course, when I started the THTFHQ, I didn't have any processes because I was creating something from the ground up, so there was nothing to benchmark, nothing to follow, nothing that I knew how to do. So I had to figure it out, and it was hard. I took a couple of years to figure everything out. But for these, specifically for the Review Advent Calendar series, all that work that I did before, figuring out how to organize myself, how to prepare things, how to actually choose the songs, organize the songs in a playlist that makes sense for everyone watching, because I don't want everyone to watch only rock reviews and then only pop reviews. I want to mix and match so that it doesn't get boring. So it has a lot of preparation going on in the background, but preparation that I already have because I already have been creating content, or I have been creating content for the Hand at Feeds HQ since 2010. It's already 14 years of doing that, and I try to organize my work as much as possible, because when you work alone, it's hard to not having anyone to delegate your tasks to. So you need to be really organized if you want to be productive. In this case, I set goals and I prepare everything. So I start by, of course, in October. The preparation for the Review Advent Calendar episode starts in October, strangely. I start to create the graphics. Each year the graphics are the same. I only change a couple of things in the wording or the dates to update those graphics. I'm okay with those. I won't be making anything really fancy, but I create the graphics from the ground up. So I use a template that I created in the first edition, and I update it every single year. This year, of course, I added a couple of new things. Right now that we have Instagram, I'm already focusing on having a story to be posted there, as well as a post on the feed. That was the big news in there. Then I also focused on adding or making sure that there was participation from those on YouTube, because not many people is on Twitter or X or Facebook, in which I only have the page for the website, but I really do not interact whatsoever in there because I do not use Facebook whatsoever. So that's the main focus. So I had to organize that part of the designs. It's the first one that I need to organize. Then I need to organize the dates. So I have to set the specific dates for people to actually participate. The survey is already pre-created by me. It was created in the first edition. I only have to change a couple of things in there and it's ready to go. I do that on MailChimp, which is one of my platforms of choice when it comes to surveys, especially because the free version is really good. Text, the copy is really freestyle every year. I only add a couple of things each year. I already have that pre-prepared as well, and I have prepared a couple of buttons to memorize some texts or some copy that I usually use with frequency, so I only have to fill in the gaps. That helps a lot for me. Now that we have the graphics and the survey and the copy, it's time to post it, and then it starts the tricky part. I need to post it on social media. I work a 9-to-5 job, so I can't post it as I am active on social media, because I'm usually active on social media when it's midnight, and people in Europe are already sleeping, people in Asia are waking up, and people in the US are starting to are well into their afternoon. So I need to make sure that at least the reminders are being posted in times in which I can target people in the US or in the Americas, or people in Asia, and then people in Europe and Africa. So I need to make sure that everyone is actually covered, and I obviously have to schedule that. I use a tool to schedule that. It takes a lot of time to schedule, but as soon as I set that, for example, I'm going to have the Review Advent Calendar series going on for 15 days, I'm going to set those 15 days, and I will make reminders, for example, every 3 days, to make sure that people see and that can participate. For some people, they will be thinking, well, this is appearing a lot of times. That's because you are following the profiles way too close. Because if you follow casually, there are some things that will be missable, and there is some content that will be buried in your feed. It's usually something that happens, so I make sure that the content or the reminders are appearing at random times and at different times of the day, so that people can actually come across it and, oh, I need to vote, or I need to suggest a song, or I want to suggest a song. After everything is settled, and I'm talking about something that really takes a lot of time, if I am creating the graphics, the copy, and then schedule everything, I'm already losing, for example, 4 to 8 hours of my day doing that. Because I need to make sure that everything is alright, that all social media accounts are working well, and I need, of course, to ensure that nothing that I'm posting is colliding with the other content that I'm going to post. For example, the birthdays, they are already scheduled ahead of time, because once again, I work a 9-to-5 job and I can't be online when those reminders should happen. After that, there comes the tricky part, which is, now that the voting or the survey closed and everyone participated, I need to check the list of everyone that participated and their suggestions. My idea here is to choose one song per person, not repeating artists. Sometimes it is impossible. There's people that suggest a ton of songs, that there is one person that suggests only songs from the same artist. Then there's another person that suggests songs that are not available online, and I cannot choose a song from theirs because I also do not have those CDs, and it gets tricky. So I need to first look at the suggestions and choose those. Let's say we have 50 people that participated, we have 50 songs. I can only use 24. So I need to choose first the songs that really I feel that are interesting to add to that playlist, especially songs that I haven't reviewed and that I know for sure that either I have those and have yet to review, or those are already available online, so I can check those and review them. So I need to make that list, and then if I notice that in front of the names of the songs is the very same person, I will think, well, that person can't be appearing too many times, unless, of course, I make an exception because that person suggested only different songs, for example, 5 different songs from 5 different artists and 5 different music genres, like it happened in this year's edition with one commenter, actually 2 commenters who were suggesting songs from completely different artists, different music genres, and different projects. So it was really awesome that they did that, because I had plenty to choose from. But at the same time, for those that participated and had their suggestions and didn't get those chosen, they will feel that it was a bit underwhelming not having their participation there when someone was appearing twice, thrice, or more times. But it really goes down to what is the vibe that I want to add to a playlist. I don't know the songs that you are going to suggest. That's the first thing. I really want it, but I do not spoil myself. I only check those in the very day that I'm going to record, so that I'm not preparing myself ahead of time. And because I do not like those fake reaction videos, I like things to be genuine. I only check in the day that I'm going to review, and then I will see if I got lucky or not, if there are songs that I really love in there, but I will not necessarily choose those because I love those. Even this year I had a couple of songs by Somaseto suggested that were really good to talk about, but I chose songs that either I didn't enjoy and that there was something that changed my opinion, or that they are so disruptive that I believe not many people have checked. So I wanted something like that, songs that really fit the vibe that I wanted for 2023. If you notice, the vibe for each edition is different, and you already have 3 different editions to compare. So you have that. So as soon as I have that list, I will prepare it in the very day that I will be recording, and I will be setting the 24 songs that I will be reviewing. I will set those per genre. Sometimes I want to showcase different music genres because I want you to see or hear different music genres, in case you are not the type of person that actively looks for new or different music. So I want to showcase something different to you, something unique, even within the songs that you may think that are generic, or that they are not necessarily groundbreaking. There's always something new to analyze in those, so it's really good that I get to have that much variety of songs to review. This year was the very first time that I had hip-hop music suggested. I don't know why up until now no one had suggested hip-hop songs. I had to actively say that these also included hip-hop crews, because I don't know why people do not understand 2D groups as it including rock bands, hip-hop crews, groups, idols, anything else in between. When I say 2D groups, I'm saying groups of 2D characters performing any music genre. So I didn't know why people hadn't suggested hip-hop music up until now. Thank God some people suggested, and some of the songs were really amazing. Others I was expecting hip-hop, but I didn't get hip-hop. But they were amazing nonetheless. Back to my productivity. Everything is prepared. I prepare a doc with those songs, I organize those per music genre and per person who suggested the song. Then I start seeing who is repeating itself too much, so that I can remove them and make sure that another person that has participated only once, for example, gets a chance to appear. I do know some participants in almost all editions of the Review Advent Calendar series, because you are regular commenters or are people that are with the channel since the start, so I do know your usernames, and when I see you I always make sure to give back, because you are here since the start or have been actively interacting with the content, so I want to of course thank you by reviewing a song you suggested. Other people, the new people on the channel, the new followers or the lurkers, I also try to choose you because I want to check the songs that you suggested, or because I want to add some new blood to the lineup, so that's always awesome to see. So after organizing that, checking all the songs and seeing what I have to work with, I start recording. I'm not thinking about a playlist nor anything else. I'm going to record in order, and I start recording. I prepare batches of 8 to 12. I only do 2 recording sessions usually. It's almost a whole day recording. If it is 8 to 12 reviews, we're talking about almost 8 hours of recording, so I usually use my weekends to record that. And this year I separated or split the songs to review into 2 batches, 12 and 12. I had a couple of issues with the recording of 2 of the videos in this year's edition. First off, Lolo D's video was a mess to record. I had loads of technical difficulties going on in there because OBS was not working well with me, and it bugged out one of the recordings I made for that video, and I had to re-record everything. Thank God, usually I react to that song in the very same way, so the recording didn't feel fake, because it isn't fake, it is my impressions of that song, but it felt quite frustrating to lose the recording altogether. I lost that recording as well. And there was another video which I'm not going to list, that is in the Review Advent Calendar. There is a video that has a messy audio. I don't know how, but the audio source is mixed up and the sound that was in the video was not matching the sound that I got in the final version of it. It was a complete nightmare to sort out, and the video has really odd cuts here and there. I am actually speaking and nothing is audible, and there are times in which I am speaking and the song is already all over my voice, which is, well, a result of a messed up recording. So I had technical difficulties, and overcoming those was quite frustrating. I almost gave up on recordings because those were too messed up to work with. Lolodi's episode was easier to create because I had to do that from the ground up. It's not a matter of the recording being messed up, it was a matter of I lost the recording because the program in which I was recording the video bugged out and I lost the recording completely. Those were the problems. So there was no way to deal with those. I had to spend more time recording as a result. When it comes to this organization, you see this is something that went from October to December. I had created the videos, now I need to edit those. And editing the videos may go from 20 to 40 minutes per video editing. You need to colorize the video, you need to make sure the sound levels are okay, that you are not peaking. Sometimes I'm peaking. Make sure that you have the lower third going on and everything else. Of course, I do use a template that I created on Adobe Premiere Pro, so there's not an issue when it comes to the entrance and the outro of the video, because I already have that planned. I only need to make it come closer or go further if the video is longer or shorter. I need, of course, to then export everything. It takes a lot of time. Still, my PC is really fast. I tried to personalize it as much as I could to make sure that I could handle those kinds of tasks in bulk. Then, after recording everything, I need to prepare the graphics for the covers or the thumbnails for YouTube, and I need to schedule everything else. Scheduling takes a lot of time after everything is done, because I need to make sure that everything is matching. I need to know that I'm crediting the person correctly, that I am copy-pasting, of course, the formula, which is to say how the title appears and what I say. I need to make sure that I fill in the gaps correctly and that I do not copy-paste from something else and then everything is wrong. So that's another thing that I need to do in there. From October to December, I am working full on this content. It takes a lot of time. But November, especially the last 2 weeks of it, are a complete nightmare for me in terms that I'm recording the videos in those weeks and also editing those, and then I am scheduling all the content to make sure that I am not running faster than I can in December, because December it's time for the end year features and those take a lot of time to write. So it's a lot of work, but I should say that if you want to do something like this, or if you want productivity tips, my major tip in here is to find tools that help you organize yourself and streamline your work. I use a couple of tools that I actually pay for. SEMrush is a good example of a tool that I use to schedule content ahead of time, because I cannot be at the time that something is posted, I cannot be online. I do pay a hefty sum for that monthly to make sure that that weight is off me. As soon as I do that once, I don't have to do that again. So I made sure to be really productive 1 or 2 days preparing everything ahead of time, that when the time comes I only need to press a button and I'm ready to go. And of course, when it comes to choosing the songs, I organize those in a doc. What I get from MailChimp is a really good list of the person, the time they participated, the title of the song and the name of the artist, or any other additional comments. So I do have that to work with, and it is really easy for me to choose songs and see if that person participated once or twice as I export those details to Google Sheet, for example. So that's a lot of organization that you have to do prior. I did that months before even the review advent calendar, and even before the review advent calendar was a thing, I started to prepare those things. Copy that I use frequently, it's a push of a button. An emoji is a push of a button. Some replies are a push of a button. I try to, of course, and usually what you get as comments or replies on YouTube, there's no push of a button, as you can tell, because I write a lot. And that's not a push of a button. I actually take time to read everything that you write and respond accordingly. So I do pay a lot of attention to that. So that's not a push of a button, but everything else that is automated in some way, I had to create the automations so that I could be productive. That's really the trick. So do find tools that actually help you, even if you have to pay something for that, because the time that you get from using those tools is invaluable. And for me, time is really important, to the point that I try to always look for another tool or another trick to save me time. I need that time to create, I need that time to review music, and if I can find a way to save time for me to do those things, I will do so. So I invested in a couple of tools that usually are used for the website to streamline my work and to make sure that I have a second Vanessa working when it's only me creating this content and handling everything else. Not to forget that as I am creating the content for the review advent calendar videos, I'm also creating content for the website, the SEIYUU digests, the articles, the podcast, everything at the same time sometimes. So it gets really hectic, and I can only do that because I am sacrificing some of my sleeping time, some of my free time to do so. Is it worth it? Well, I do enjoy what I do, but I also enjoy to rest a bit. So if I can streamline and save some time, I will do so, so that I can make sure that I am always fresh and doing my best. So I hope this has helped you in some way, Milana. I don't know if anyone else is actually interested in this video, but this is really a behind the scenes of the Review Advent Calendar series. I hope that you guys actually found the videos interesting. I know that some people actually commented, but most of the people that watched didn't leave a comment, so I do not know if you guys enjoyed it. Not leaving a comment, not leaving a like, I do not know how to gauge if some artists are worth mentioning again or not, because you are not interacting with the content, even if I have hundreds of views like I have in some of the reviews of this year's edition. So make sure to participate, and even if you are a bit shy to leave a comment, at least leave a like, so that I can understand if you actually enjoyed the review or the artist. All in all, I hope this video serves well for those that want to streamline their work and they are content creators or want to become content creators. Especially in this field, when it comes to music. Music is being released all the time, and if you want to create something or a channel that is focused only on reviewing music, make sure to have everything streamlined, because this is a lot of work, and that's a big reason why I only do this once a year. Because if I had to do this every year, all months, I would go crazy. There's not enough time to do these all the time. I do appreciate the people that do these all the time, but I'm okay with the glimpse that I get later every year to create 24 videos for 24 straight days. It's crazy. It's a lot of work, and I hope you guys appreciate it in some way, and if not for my work, at least for the reviews, because I want you to show you good music, and music that of course is worth checking out. And I believe this is all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a really good cut of the behind the scenes here at the THTFHQ, and that's all from me. I'll see you guys soon.